If you're running an online store, you're a brand owner, then I'm sure that you're well aware of the complete nightmare that it is to have traffic, people coming into your website, clicking into your products, adding things to their cart, and maybe even initiate a checkout. But then out of nowhere, they just leave, no purchase, no signups, nothing, and you have no idea why. I've now made over $3 million with my own Shopify store, specifically with my own beauty brands, and I know how frustrating that is because I've been there multiple times. When I started my beauty brands, I had the same problems as well, but over time, I figured out what actually was pushing customers away, and once I fixed those things, that's when everything changed for me. So in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through the 5 common mistakes that could be costing you a lot of sales, a lot of money, and most importantly, I'm also gonna be showing you how to fix them, right? And these are not just going to be small tweaks. These are things that could be making your website harder to shop from, less trustworthy, or just not engaging enough for customers to actually buy from you. Now, the first mistake that I see almost every new entrepreneur, every business owner make is that they're not collecting emails and phone numbers, which is a huge red flag. Now, I get it, you guys, you're probably focused on making sales right now, but here's the problem with that. Most people are not going to buy the first time that they come to your website, okay? They're just not. A great majority of them are going to be unsure of your product. It's right for them. They're going to be distracted, confused, or maybe they're just going to need a little bit more time to trust you before they actually make a purchase from you. And if you're not collecting the information, then what are you doing? Like, you're going to be losing them forever. And that's just going to keep forcing you to keep spending money on ads. It's going to keep forcing you to make more content just so that you can bring in more traffic back into your website so that only 3 to 4% of the people actually buy. You understand where I'm going with this? It's not the way to do it, you guys. In fact, only about 3 to 4% of your visitors are actually going to make a purchase on the first visit, okay? That means that the other 90% are just, or 97% are just going to leave. And if you don't have a way to reach out to them again, then they're just going to be gone forever. You'll never hear from them again. And so this is where collecting emails and phone numbers changes everything, because instead of losing those potential customers forever, you now have a direct line of communication to them so that you can nurture them, so that you can break down their beliefs and doubts that they have about your products, and so that you can reinforce your product is the perfect fit for them, and so that you can always keep your brand on top of mind to them. Because through email and SMS marketing, you can literally speak directly to them. You can speak directly to their concerns. You can shift their false beliefs, and you can guide them to making a confident purchase from your website. The easiest way that you can start this process and start collecting emails and phone numbers is with a simple pop-up. But the mistake that I see most brands do is that their pop-ups are super annoying. They don't offer anything of value. And if you just are going to be throwing up a box in there that says, sign up for a newsletter, people are just going to ignore it. But if you actually give them a real reason to sign up, like a discount, free shipping, or early access to something, to sales, then all of a sudden that offer, that pop-up is going to become a no-brainer for them. And once you have the information, again, you guys, you can send them email and text messages that are going to bring them back to your store without you having to post more on social media, without you having to run more ads, without you having to spend another dollar, right? And if you're not sure how to set this up, you guys, what I recommend is a tool called Klaviyo. It's my favorite. You shouldn't be looking at any other marketing tools out there. It's my go-to for email and SMS marketing automations, and you can also use it to build high converting pop-ups that actually get people to sign up and give you their information. The key with the pop-up, you guys, is that you want to set it, you want to time it in a way that it's not intrusive, okay? You want to make it pop up just at the right time, and what I recommend is that you set it between 8 and 16 seconds after they land on your website or your landing page. That way they have enough time to browse before seeing the offers, so it feels natural instead of feeling intrusive and annoying. The next huge mistake that I see brands make all the time is that they don't pay enough attention to their product photography. And I know it sounds simple, but you gotta remember that people shop with their eyes first, you guys. And if your product photos don't look high quality, then people are just gonna assume that your products aren't high quality either. And it's not just about sales, okay? Because bad photos are also gonna lead to a lot more returns because customers aren't gonna be able to see what they're actually getting, right? Now, a lot of the people think that they need an expensive camera to fix this issue, but for the love of God, you guys, please don't go on and buy an expensive camera or one of those light boxes from Amazon thinking that that's going to be the solution to your problem. I've been there and it's not what you want, especially if you've never done product photography before. It'll just hurt you way more than it's just going to help, not just financially, but also when you realize that your photos still don't look right, then you're gonna be stuck trying to Photoshop them, tweak the lighting, fixing the weird shadows, and trust me, it's just a huge waste of time. Instead of making things easier, it'll just leave you frustrated and super disappointed. I've been there, trust me. It's about knowing how to showcase your products, you guys, not just the equipment that you use. But the good news is that you don't need a big budget to get professional looking photos for your business, you guys. There's a service that I love, it's called Suna, and it makes things so much easier to get product photography from, because all you got to do is you ship out a product to them. You can literally join a live virtual photo shoot about your product, and you can literally be the director of your product. You can dictate how everything is going to turn out, and you can even send inspo photos prior to the photo shoot so that they know exactly what it is that you're looking for. And they literally take care of everything: the lighting, the styling, the angles, the editing, the photoshopping, anything that you need, even models if you need. And the best part is that it's only $39 per photo. So instead of wasting money on a camera and equipment that you do not know how to use, you can just send your products to Suna and they'll take care of everything for you, and you can forget about all the stress that you wanted to put yourself onto. And once you get those photos, you can literally use them anywhere: your website, Instagram, ads, your emails, whatever you need to build trust and make your products look its best. Now, another mistake that I see a lot of brands doing is not giving customers a reason to feel safe buying from their website. Just think about it, you guys. When you shop online, you can't touch or try on the product before you buy it, right? So there's always that little hesitation in the back of your mind saying, what if I don't like this? What if it doesn't work? And what if I just waste my money? And if a customer feels even a little unsure, then they're just gonna leave instead of taking the risk of purchasing from you. And so the easiest way that you can do to fix this is by offering some kind of guarantee. Whether it's a money back guarantee, you can offer free returns and exchanges as well. And those things are going to be taking the pressure off the customer. And instead of the customer thinking, I don't know if I should risk my money on this, they're thinking, I might as well just try it because I can always return it if I don't like it. Make sense? And here's the thing, you guys, most people don't actually use these guarantees. You know, out of thousands of orders, I've only had a handful of people request a return to try to take advantage of me, you guys. But the increase in sales that I got from people feeling confident in their purchase is way bigger than any small number of returns that I might have to process. And that goes for you as well. Another huge mistake that I see brands making all the time is treating their sales as a one and done transaction. The best brands know that when someone is already in buying mode, that's the perfect moment to help increase your average order value. So instead of you just trying to sell one product at a time, you can actually strategically offer them something complementary. So whether it's an upgrade of the product, a bundle, or an exclusive add-on, you just want to make sure that they buy more than one item from your website, because this is not only going to help you boost revenue for you, but it's also going to enhance the customer experience. It's going to make them feel like they're getting even more value out of shopping with you. And just think about it, right? When someone is buying like a product like a lip liner, they're probably looking for that perfect lip combo for them. And if they see a matching lipstick as a one-click simple add-on that they can just check and add it to their cart, it's going to feel natural for them to just add both things to their cart, which is going to help you increase your average order value. And the same thing goes with a product like a foundation, right? If you're offering a setting powder or a blending sponge right when they're about to check out, then it's going to make sense for them to get everything they need in one order. Now, here's why that works so well. If you think about it, customers are already spending money. Once they've made the decision to buy, they're far more likely to add something extra to their cart, especially if it's going to complement what they're already purchasing from you, right? This doesn't feel pushy. It's actually going to feel helpful for them, and you're making it easier for them to get the full experience while also increasing your average order value. So it's a win-win situation. And the best part is that you don't have to do all of this manually. There are Shopify apps like Sell Easy and Upcart that do all the work for you. These apps automatically suggest upsells, which are the higher price add-ons, and downsells, which are the lower cost alternatives inside the cart or after checkout. So again, it's a win-win situation. The customer gets a better shopping experience with a complete set of products, and you make more money without you having to spend an extra dime on ads or posting more content on social media or spending more on customer acquisition. Instead of always chasing new buyers, you need to be maximizing the value of the ones that you already have. And if you're not doing this, you're just leaving a ton of money on the table. table. Now, another huge mistake that I see brands make all the time is spending way too much energy just on their homepage and not enough energy and completely neglecting their product pages. Now, I get it, you guys, the homepage feels like the face of your brand, the face of your business, and you do want it to look amazing. But here's the thing, that's not where the customer is going to decide whether or not to give you money and pay for that order. Okay, just remember that. If you're running ads, if you're making content, if you're posting on social media, or you're just getting traffic from Google, the truth of the matter is that most of the traffic is going to go directly to your product pages and not even looking at your homepage a lot of the time. And if your product pages aren't convincing enough, then those visitors are not going to buy. So your product page needs to do all of the selling for you. And if it doesn't clearly showcases why your product is worth buying, if it doesn't answer customer objections and questions, and if it doesn't make to or help the checkout process feel frictionless, then you're losing a ton of sales. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. So how do you actually fix that? So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to make the information consumable and easy to digest, because people are not reading every word on your website, you guys. They're just skimming through, they're lurking around over in your website. And again, people are not reading, but still they're looking for that key piece of information, those key details that are going to help them make that decision of whether or not they should buy your product, right? So they're still looking for that information, and we still got to give it to them, but we just can't give it in a block of text in paragraphs, because that's completely boring. And so if your product description feels too long or dense, they're just going to lose interest. And so instead, what you want to do is that you want to break things apart, or you want to break them into bullet points so that they can quickly get the answers to their biggest questions, to the most common questions that they have particularly. So for these questions or these bullet points, what I like to use are what I call value propositions, features, and benefits as the bullet points, and set those right above the add to cart button, because this is where the customer is going to be making that purchasing decision. And again, I like to break those bullet points into 4 main things: what the product does, why it's valuable, what makes it different, and the result that they can expect after they buy that product. So instead of making people scroll around trying to piece together information, this section alone is going to give them everything in one place before they even scroll down through your product pages. Next, your product photos need to sell the experience. If you're only showcasing your product on a plain, boring white background, then you're making it harder for your customers to connect with your products, and your customers won't know what to expect specifically. So what I recommend is for you to showcase your product being worn or applied, depending on the type of product, of course, on an actual human being, so that they can actually see and visualize what the product looks like exactly. Now, reviews and testimonials, you guys, also matter a lot. If someone is unsure about buying, seeing some feedback from real customers can give them that extra push that they need. And at the end of the day, people just want to feel confident in their purchases, you guys, especially online. The more trust signals you include, whether that's reviews, customer photos, or even a simple money back guarantee, the easier it's going to be for them to say yes. Now, another one of my favorite things to add to a product page is a short 3-step video that showcases 3 main things: what the product is, it showcases how to use the product, and it showcases the result that that product is going to provide. And so this right here is what I call a transformation section, because it takes someone from where they are to where they want to be in 3 simple steps, and it's a great way to visualize it for them so that they can essentially make that purchase decision a lot quicker. So this section is going to help you do a lot of the selling, because people can see the product in action. They're going to feel more confident about buying it as well. And if they're comparing your product to a competitor, which I guarantee that they are, seeing how your product actually works could be what makes them choose your product versus the competition. And speaking of competition and comparisons, you want to control that narrative, okay? Because customers, again, they're already comparing your product to what's out there to others, so don't leave them to do that research on their own. You can add a simple side-by-side comparison chart right on your product pages. So for example, if you're selling like a hydrating lip oil, you want to show the differences clearly. You can say that your product is non-sticky and lightweight, while their product feels thick and greasy. You can say that your product is going to nourish and soften the lips, while their product is going to dry out over time. Makes sense? So you're essentially just making your product seem superior to what's already out there in the market, because this is what's going to make it easier for customers to see why your product is the better choice from everything that's already out there. Now, comparisons are great, you guys, but they are just not enough. You also want to build trust in different ways and remove any hesitation about buying. And this is where trust badges come into place, you guys. You want to put them anywhere that your customers will actually see them, either near the add to cart button or in a scrolling announcement banner at the top of your product pages, or in between the product page works as well. That way you're always reminding your customers of what makes buying from you a safe and essentially the right decision. And some examples of trust badges that you can use in your websites as icons are a money back guarantee icon, a cruelty-free icon, and an icon that represents hassle-free returns. So the fast shipping icon is gonna let people know that they don't need to wait weeks for them to get their order. A money back guarantee icon, it's gonna let them know that there's no risk in trying out your products. The cruelty-free icon is gonna tell them that your brand aligns with their values, and the hassle-free returns and exchanges is gonna reassure them that if it doesn't work out, it's okay, it's not a big deal because we got you, we'll give you a free return or exchange your product for free. And when people see these things up front, it's going to take away that hesitation that they have about maybe purchasing from you. And so when they also see these trust signals, it's going to help eliminate the doubts, and it's going to make them feel more secure about their purchase. At the end of the day, your product page should do all of the selling for you. And if it's answering questions, showcasing your product in action, and it's making people feel safe about buying from you, then you'll see way more conversions without you having to spend an extra dollar on ads. And one last thing you don't want to forget about is a simple FAQ section. If a customer has questions and can't find answers quickly, then they're more likely to leave than go searching for it to find the actual answer. Things like, how long does the product last? How do I use the product? What if it doesn't work out for me? How long is shipping? Just basic things, right? Etc, etc. Just these basic questions that might seem obvious to you can literally make the difference between a first-time buyer in completing that purchase and just clicking away and you never hearing from them again. So now you know exactly what may be hurting your sales, and more importantly, you know what you need to do to fix that. So if your store isn't converting the way that you want, then you can start with these changes right away. Start collecting emails and phone numbers so you're not losing on potential customers. Upgrade your product photos so people can actually see what they're getting. Start using risk reversals, upsells, and better product pages to remove hesitation and obviously increase sales. And if you need more help growing your e-commerce business, then consider liking and subscribing, or you can also watch some of these videos here to get some more help.